We back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Yo, what's happening, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K.Mims, the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. We got the ladies of the show, Miss Asia and Miss Brittany. What's happening?
Hey.
My bro DJ J Dub, what's happening?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, I'm about to say, I thought you better say something. Anyway, hey, look, man. So, hey, man, appreciate everybody that came through this weekend at the 2000s party kickback. Next stop, May 17th, we have the first stop of the Millennials vs. the World Podcast Parties Tour. We'll be at St. X, DC, sponsored by 3708 Tequila. So make sure you tap in. Those tickets are live right now. Seats are first come, first serve. Tickets are going fast, so make sure you tap in, man. How's everybody doing on this good Monday, dog? Before we get started, how's everybody doing on this good Monday?
Doing good, feeling great. It's Monday.
I got a question. Oh yeah, we got one tonight. We got one tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question, y'all. This is a serious question. This wasn't. Do y'all consider texting somebody, talking to them? So, like, if you exchange text with somebody, would you say that you spoke with them? Meaning, like, your friend, whoever, would you consider texting somebody like, oh yeah, I talked to such and such last week, we good? Or does talking on the phone and having a conversation mean you talk to them? Does that question make sense?
Yeah.
Texting is a form of communication. Therefore, if I text you, that means I spoke with you and you all right.
That's good. That suffices for checking in on people and all that text message.
Yeah.
For me, it does.
That's interesting.
I think so. But when I say it and I'm thinking about it, if I say like I talked to somebody, it means that I was talking to them on the phone or I was FaceTiming them. Because usually I differentiate between like, oh, I was just texting them last week. I wouldn't say I was just talking to them last week. But I do think that a text check-in is still, I think that suffices.
I don't know. I feel like you don't get credit for text. I feel like when you text people and check on them, it's not the same as calling on. Like if you text somebody every week and then call them, I guarantee you, it may be like you never did all the texting. Does that make sense? Like the call will still be like, I ain't talked to you in a while, but we just text every week for the past 6 weeks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I wouldn't take it.
Say that again, Jay.
I said, for me, it does. I wouldn't take it like that. The only way I would look at it differently is if I know somebody's going through something, and then like I would probably call them instead of texting. Like, hey, I want to hear your voice. Like, tone might matter at that moment. Different things.
All right, baby. All right, I was just asking, man. I got in a little debate because I felt like sometimes I text people because I don't want to talk to you like that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really got nothing to talk about, so I'm gonna text you like, "How's everything your way?" We don't got to be on the phone to say that.
Yeah.
like,
And y'all don't use the little audio button, like
the voice messages.
Yes, they go a long way. Therefore, a busy person can press play whenever they want to, and they can respond whenever they want to, and you can still hear their voice and still communicate in that way too.
We becoming robots, man. That's great. I mean, I'm with you. I'm a voice message person now, but it's just like I don't think they suffice. I think a call means more. Like I was talking to my grandmother on the phone the other week, and we was beefing a little bit. I'm like, Grandma, but you don't text me back. So like I could feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like I be texting you, you don't hit me back, but you trying to get on me about calling. But anyway, let's get into this.
You know your grandma ain't gonna text you back, man.
Hey, yes, she never mind. So let's get into the social news. All right, man. The black culture took a hit this week for this past 2 weeks, heavy. Starting off with Mr. Shannon Sharpe, and we low-key gotta go over this because on the TikTok we talked about Tracy Ellis Ross last week, and the Shannon news came out after that. And if you don't know, Shannon Sharpe is being sued for SA. You can go find out what SA means, for $50 million. The I don't know if she was 19 at the time or 19 now, but he's 56, and then there was audios that leaked that have different conversations. You know, he's still innocent. But it happened. But before we get into the actual allegations and what it is, last week on TikTok, we were talking about Tracy Ellis Ross and how she wanted a younger man, and we had the conversation, and somebody hopped on TikTok and was like, I would love to hear them speak on Shannon Sharpe now. Is this what happened? Not the essay, but like, is this age gap the same one that if a woman was to do it, does it look just as bad from both ends? Is what I'm asking. We talked about Tracy Ellis Ross wanting a younger man, and now Shannon Sharpe came out and this young lady is 19. What's y'all thoughts on that? Addressing the TikTok person.
Absolutely. I feel like it's the same either way. Because if there's a 50-year age gap, that's a problem. I think we kind of specified with Tracy that it was like closer in proximity in terms of age. Maybe we didn't. I don't know.
No, I'm saying I don't think it was that. I wasn't disagreeing with us. Okay. I'm saying we did, but I don't think it was that. Go ahead, Brittany. I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
But I mean, either way, 19 and 95 is a huge age. Shannon is old. Okay. And he's too old to be. She can't even drink. So like, I feel like that age gap is crazy. And even if it was flipped, right? If Tracy was talking about a 19-year-old, that's insane because that's too wide of a gap. That's not. We're not. When you talking about young versus cougar, we're not talking about no 50-year age gap. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'm not speaking on the allegations. I just think if there is no difference, there's no relatable experience there. However, I think either male or woman to male doesn't matter. Like, when the relationship is transactional, I'm not saying it's the same, but like that's like there may not be much need of a connection in that case. Does what I'm saying make sense?
Nah, can you elaborate more?
So like I feel like Trace, let me not say that. I feel like when people want to like try to date and marry somebody that's way younger than them, to me, I'm sorry, I just feel like it's manipulation. I feel like they want somebody they can manipulate. That's just how I feel. Either man or woman, doesn't matter. But if somebody is seeking a certain action and it's just a transaction, I don't think the same manipulative tactics are there. If that's what it don't matter, man or woman, if that's what you want to do, if it's just a transaction. Does what I'm saying make sense?
Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, I agree with what Brittany was saying. Either way, male or female, is just it's not good. The second thing is that if you're talking about transaction, right? Okay, you have the funds to get any type of person that you would like to have that transaction with. You chose an 18 to 19-year-old girl. That's weird to me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because you have all those options. You could have picked a 25-year-old if you wanted them younger. Because, like Brittany said, you old, so anything under you is younger. So I mean, you had options, but to jump to a 19-year-old, that's a lot, man. I don't see what people see in that.
Yeah.
I also don't, because I'm just foreseeing people saying, or the argument sometimes being like, oh, well, she didn't look that young. Like that, I feel like that whole argument, when people say that, it's like, yeah, but she also doesn't look 40, but she also doesn't look 32. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, when people throw out those arguments, and I'm only saying that, not that anybody has said it, but I just know those are some people that will speak to that. I think that, and I'm grateful that I feel like there is no, that we are checking women too that do the same predatory type of stuff, if it is that, right? Speaking outside of this current situation. because there was a point in time that people would have said, no, well, there is a difference, right? That when men do it, it's different than when women do it. And so I'm just grateful that we're speaking to like, nah, either way, like that's real trippy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see can it ever not be predatory is my thing. Like it has to be that to me.
Right.
Like
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Brady.
No. I was just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
I was about to say, when he interviewed Young Miami, didn't he kind of give an age group of what he was looking for? Didn't he say like 30, 32-ish?
But he ain't do that though.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if y'all. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How
he danced around it.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like this is the thing.
Plus,
go ahead, Jim.
Whatever, half my age plus whatever. It wasn't 19, princess.
Right.
But even still, bro, like I feel like when you, hey, look, man, I jump, and then we're gonna get into his allegations and what it did and things like that. But like, I think when you that old, 19 is just far too young, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Like, like when you that old, that's different. Mm-hmm. I'm not justifying. I ain't in the, you know what I'm saying. But like, if you in your 30s and you dating somebody in their 20s, even if you're in your late 30s and they may be in their mid 20s, I'm still gonna disagree. But I could kind of see the rationale a little bit.
Wait, right. So I'm happy you said that because that takes me to a question I was going to ask you when you stopped. But you said earlier that you feel like an older person talking to somebody younger is a setup for manipulation. Does it depend on how many years? Because like let's say if it's like a 3-year age gap, is that different than a 5 to 10 year age gap, or do you feel like you're still trying to manipulate them?
Definitely. If I feel like the only way it don't really come out as manipulation is if the age gap, let's say it's 10 years, but y'all have some type of shared life experiences where that person's not leading you in everything new. Does that make sense? Like I feel like the older person should be wanting somebody that's green, so everything that happens, they can show them how to do it their way. And if a person has life experience, they're not going to step into it looking for the other person to show them everything. They're going to kind of have their own way. If you teach them a little bit here or there, cool. But like, nah, man, you should know how to tie your shoes. They should know how to tie their shoes if they date. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not with that, dog. Nah.
Tie their shoes.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like I can see a 35, 36-year-old dating somebody 25, 26. Like that don't feel crazy to me. Uh-oh, princess. I saw the side eye. What that mean?
No, I mean it doesn't.
Yeah, now
for me, my age used to be 10 years. So, well, I mean, yeah. So that makes sense to me.
Both ways?
No, higher.
Oh, let me make sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might.
Nah. You ain't gonna get me with that. I don't even really like dealing with men that are a year younger than me, let alone 10. So yeah, nah.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, so to Shannon Sharpe's point, do y'all think this is a shakedown? Do you think it already crushed his image? Do you think there's some guilt in it, or do you think he just into some weird kinky stuff that kind of like got out and they manipulating it to sound like? As soon as I heard his speech, he say better known as such and such on OnlyFans, I'm like, okay, guy, where are we going with this?
I think he's just being dumb, and now he's caught up. I think he just into some different things, kinky, whatever you want to say. And I also think that Black men in power with money oftentimes make the same mistake, and they feel like they can get away with more things because they have money, so that like stuff can get swept under the rug, or they can, give hush money or like whatever, but they choose to do it with the wrong ones.
I like the way you put that, princess.
And if they dealt with their kind more and found them a little more fun, then they wouldn't be going through this.
Oh God!
Talk about it.
And I'ma say it.
I know. hey, but I want to say a follow-up that's kind of like outside. Do you think? Sorry, it's 2025. We're going there. Do you think that level of kinkiness will be found there? I'm asking a question.
It can be, yes, especially in 2025.
Okay, that's fair.
Like so in 2025, dealing with a younger, like same age that whatever he's been alleged in the year 2025, yes. But if you ask us that maybe 20 years ago, so like people who are maybe in their 40s now, you know what I mean? Like that crowd, they're not as open. The younger crowd, like they exploring. Okay, we're in a free everybody. Whoop whoop, yeah. He can find what he needs to. He can find it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I ain't gonna say too much.
I'm trying to say this the best way as
yeah,
possible.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
He can find it.
But see, the thing I don't. The only thing that makes it weird to me is that there was a transaction involved. That's the only thing that makes it really, really, really weird. And I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if y'all saw the text. I ain't gonna say them, but if y'all saw the text that you saying you didn't see him?
I didn't. No.
I didn't see him either.
You didn't see him either, Jay?
No.
I see. I saw.
Yeah, she was saying some reckless stuff, yo, like some all the way left field stuff. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
but they were both into that, and that's what just secures the bag for me, that he is into that type of stuff. That's why I don't believe it was a quote unquote shakedown. I just think he was called to the carpet. Like somebody exposed you. You messed with the wrong one. Sis wanted more money out of it. She got an attorney or whatever she got to do whatever they needed to do to kind of monetize on the situation. That's your bad for playing in the field like that. Yep. I mean,
it's definitely his bag for sure.
Yeah.
He done cooked himself. I think even if those audios are manipulated, I think he's cooked himself. Like that's not even stuff you saying on the phone. But
wait, hold on. Why? My thing is like, why does he feel the need, or do all celebrities feel the need? I don't know, to come on here and make these long, stupid behind videos like disclaimers. Oh, somebody's gonna put out this. Oh, my character's being ripped up. Like, there has to be some sort of guilt or something behind those messages that you feel the need to clear your name before stuff has even been released. Like, that's the part that makes me look at people sideways a little bit. What are we talking? What are we doing?
Because he knows that he participated in some stuff. So he's trying to get ahead of it. And that's, like, he's trying to get ahead of it to say, yeah, I know I did some stuff, but it ain't what you really think that I really did. Even though I might have really did it.
Oh yeah.
Especially with him, like how many times though? Like, sir, this is now the like, we not gonna keep believing the same thing. First time, okay. Okay. We were defending you. We were like, can you believe? Actually, he got props from a couple of people, right? And then it's like, all right, we're not gonna keep we're not gonna keep doing this. Can't play us for a fool.
Yeah. And it's like, you didn't only go.
I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Princess. If you with it, you're saying about that static.
I'm not gonna say that.
So I think this. I just, if you all follow Shannon Sharpe, which I do, he's very particular about how he moves in spaces. Like, he doesn't get on the elevator with women, or if he's in a hotel and the person servicing the room is a woman, he'll step out and do all those things. You know what I mean? But this is my thing. I just don't see. I will say this, and all is alleged. He innocent to proven guilty. It's like, I don't see him moving that dumb. That's my thing. Like, not like, I feel like there's some manipulation. I feel like this. I feel like it was all for the actual settlement, because I think there's going to come a point, not the initial one. I hate to bring this up. Do y'all remember how fast did he settle after Cassie put all that stuff out? Because it was like, I had to shut it up.
Yeah.
There's potentially, he can lose enough to where pain is worth this stopping.
Absolutely.
So that's what I feel like is about, more so than the actual, like, if he did it or not. I ain't saying he's doing it, but like, bro, you shouldn't be like, nah, not only is she young, you went to the other side with it too, man. Like, That's a little dangerous.
That's literally what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm not saying every person is like that, but like that writing's been on the wall for a long time in that world, not in the regular smuggler everyday world. In that world, you've seen that too many times.
But they keep doing it. They keep doing it.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm gonna keep saying it because they keep doing it.
But my if you're gonna be Shannon Sharpe and you that kinky, you into that type of stuff, that's fine. Get the paperwork signed ahead of time. This is what's gonna happen. These things that need to be put in place. This is my protection for this. This is what you're agreeing to. So and then go in there and be as freaky as you want to. Mm-hmm. But then you doing all this and acting like, oh man, well I'm gonna go ahead and do. You know that was for bad. Come on, man.
See, they don't think that far ahead. No. They don't think that far ahead. They see the attraction. They got whatever kink going on, and they think just them being who they are is enough. They think what I can give you on the fly is enough for you to hush until it's not enough, and it's like, oh, dang, I picked the wrong one. But then it's too late.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I feel like if it's a competition between ego and greed is going to win every time.
Yep, for sure.
Every single time. And that's exactly what keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, man, I can't say. I feel weird saying. I'm just not gonna say it. I just feel bad because it's like I don't want to say it's self-inflicted because I don't want to victim shame because we don't know, right? Like no woman deserves to be SA'd at all. You feel where I'm coming from? Right. But it's really, 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 really hard for me to feel bad for him. It's like, leave it there. Yeah. Any more thoughts on Shannon Sharpe and his allegations?
Nope. No.
I know a lot of things. Go ahead.
No. I just really wonder, like, is his podcast gonna pause until
it can't? I'm gonna tell you why I think it can't. This is allegedly because I don't know. I watch Nightcap often.
Okay.
He had Boost Mobile. He had Boost Mobile as the presenting sponsor. It's now covered up. So you know what that means. He had DraftKings. It's no longer in the corner of the show. So you know what that means. The biggest the reason why I feel like he can't print is because it's like a catch-22. That's why you want your own stuff so you can still run and make money. But so I think he can't because he had to step away from all the other endeavors. Like because he had to step away from ESPN, it's like, even if I'm losing money, I got to still try to get some back because I don't think people are going to stop watching him and he stopped getting money on YouTube. I do think he'll take a hit in sponsorship money. Right. You know what I mean?
No, I said that. I'm not talking about Nightcap. That's the one he got with Chad, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about his podcast alone.
I don't
because
think
I'm just thinking in my head, who's going to be the guest? And he has to know that just like with this whole Mama Michelle thing, right? Every guest that he's had on there since then has either cracked a joke, like said something about that. And so anybody who he brings on is going to mention it, especially if he keep bringing on them comedians. They about to light his ass up.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm asking that question. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, who is going to be his guest? Who is he going to feel safe enough at this current moment where he's super vulnerable to bring on as a guest? That's why I'm asking.
He gonna make him sound
They got clauses. He done made addendums to his contracts with these people that's supposed to be coming on, where they can't mention such and such, but they're already under contract that they have to come and present. You know what I'm saying? And be a guest. That's how I see that happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of see it happening like that too, Asia. But I also look at it, Princess. It's the name of the game. It's a numbers game, so that could be more content to boost his numbers up because people are gonna be looking for that information. If he does decide to open, so he's looking at it like from a money standpoint, kind of like how Cat Williams went up there and kind of told his story. I mean, hey, let's talk about it.
That's what I'm about to say. He need to bring Cat Williams back.
No, he don't.
Tomorrow.
No, he don't. Nah, he don't. He didn't let that lie.
You know how much money he would make off that episode, though.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Considering everything that he's going through right now, and bring Cat Williams back right now. Oh
yeah.
That's what he needs to make up some of that lost money.
So, do y'all think anybody, even if, like, let's say it's not true, do you think anybody can recover from this?
We're gonna need I keep wanting to say stuff, so
hey, look,
stop.
Hey, look.
Because we need a pause button.
People do it all the time.
But are those people ones that look like him though?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So he might not be able to, like, like when I say come back, I don't think he's going to disappear. Bro, I don't know how much y'all follow him, but like, bro was on the come up.
Yeah, he was.
It's like, I don't know if he's going to be able to, like, you may get back a little bit. You ain't going to get back a lot of bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if you think, that is a specific group in which the sewer is in is not going to do everything in their power to make you feel that outside of that, that's a whole nother aspect to that. That's all I'm saying. And speaking of, I'm about to get off that.
Okay.
Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur, the I'm sorry, I'm stuttering because I think we're going to skip Shedeur real quick. We're actually going to skip Shedeur. We're going to get into these topics of the night. If I can find it. All right, man. What's happening, man? Me and Asia bringing the vibes today. We were going to talk about Shedeur Sanders in the NFL slide. We just hope, I guess we could quickly say, we hope everything, all major success. It was super dirty what the NFL did. We hope major success for him in Cleveland. The Sanders family. It's hard out here being a pimp. But major success to him. So how y'all doing tonight, man? Everybody doing good?
Got the Birdman. Come on, Birdman.
Here we go.
So, the first question of the night, we just want to know a little thing. Why do y'all think it is that femininity is a threat to independence the same way masculinity is a threat to toxic by default? So meaning like women stepping into their femininity is like, oh my gosh, she's, all this great things about independence, and a guy that is overly masculine, he's toxic by default. Why do y'all think that is?
What do you mean by overly masculine?
Yeah, first of all, I don't think that. So I don't.
So it says by default, if a guy is toxic masculinity is used so much if a guy is overly I'm gonna say by default. Like I'm thinking of it from a full circle. Like most things that come from from masculinity quickly goes to toxic. That's the first thing they're going to go to when it has a negative connotation to it. And if you don't feel that way, that's cool. But I feel like masculinity gets weaponized way too much now, and it becomes the word toxic just because it gets weaponized a lot.
But you referring to masculinity in this scenario as aggressive, like too aggressive?
Yeah, that's what I need clarification on what you mean exactly.
I mean masculinity. What do you see masculinity as? I mean it in its definition. No funny, like because I wouldn't say masculinity and it's like as aggressive.
Got you.
I guess I don't. You're saying explain masculinity, but I'm using it and it's like.
It's hard. It's hard to
it's the way the question is worded.
No, well, not even that, but like you have to believe that in order to provide an answer for that. So I don't believe those two things correlate with one another. Like when I feel like somebody is overly masculine, I don't equate that to mean toxic masculinity.
What? Okay, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
and the same for me.
I'm struggling with it.
Yeah, for femininity, like I don't think that's being overly independent. Like stepping into your soft girl era is not being not being independent. I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't think it.
real quick, I'm not trying to go off on a tangent.
Here we go.
Can y'all explain that? Because didn't y'all cook somebody specifically on around this time last year for using that same terminology?
Yeah. I did.
Could you like further explain? Explain the difference.
Hey yo,
The difference.
the
difference is I don't want any man that I'm pursuing walking around talking about he's in his soft guy era.
No, explain the difference in the eras. I get what you're saying. I know that. We know that, Princess. Explain the difference.
Well, by his definition, I don't know what a soft guy era is. I don't, because I don't know what that is. I guess
there is no such.
Who said that?
That's toxic, Jay.
Era.
That's toxic masculinity.
I don't care. Yeah, that shit don't bother me. There's no such thing as a soft guy. What the? I've never heard. Somebody said that.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I feel like if you want to be walking around in your masculinity and the submissive talk and all that, you can. The word submission cannot come out your mouth if you walk around here talking about soft guy era. Like if we're having a conversation and we're in a relationship or we dealing with each other, and you talking about me submitting to you, but in the same breath you talking about soft guy era. I'm not submitting to a soft guy. Like to me, it don't do it for me. For some it might, for me it doesn't. I don't know. Like I just feel like they don't go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So is the soft guy era, is that what's the threat to masculinity?
That probably is. Boom, you said it.
Yeah.
Because people trying to tap in too much to that and not sticking in their masculinity for real.
So I understand what it is. I'm saying I'm not a fan of it necessarily, but I do understand it though. I don't operate that way. I understand it though. I just don't get it. So essentially the way it was explained last year, it was explained of like basically requiring more of your partner. Like it's more exchanges than me. You being a guy being pursued too is what I get from it. Essentially, that's essentially what I get from it.
But
like
soft guy, well, I wouldn't classify that as soft guy era. That's just you have expectations of what you want in that relationship. Jay, that doesn't mean that.
Go ahead. Good. Cause we about to argue now. Go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, you are expecting more of somebody, but you're also giving the same thing. So I'm not expecting you to take on my role. That's what soft guy era sound like to me. Like, yeah, I want you to open the door for me. I want you to, you know what I'm saying, throw me on the bed. Like what? That's what, like, and I'm for real. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like to me.
Jay, that's what it sounds like. But you having expectations, man, you in your soft guy era. Last year, is that not how it was explained? Is that not how it was explained when we was at Hill Prince last year?
Plus a little more.
Huh?
Plus a little more.
Yeah, but okay, this is what I'm saying. The literal point Jay just made is the problem with the argument. Jay said, I don't see that as soft guy era, but that's the literal definition. You typically, the way tradition is, guys pursue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cool.
Right.
The way it was explained, and from my understanding of it, is like now that pursuing is mutual. Jay, tell me.
And I don't agree.
I don't agree with it.
Because the pursuit being mutual and a man having boundaries and expectations and stuff like that, that's not the same. That's not the same as the pursuit being mutual. Okay. That's the difference for me.
So if his expectation is for you to call him just as much as he call you,
then that would sound like that it's a mutual pursuit.
That's the point though. Like his expectations could require you to do the same thing that you want him to do.
Okay. I feel you on that.
So hold on.
But to me, it just can't be the same.
You said what? Say that again, Princess. Say that last part again.
I said, I see what you're saying, but for me, I just feel like it should not be the same.
So, Jay, I'm going to ask you, brother.
Yeah.
Would you... Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I've had a woman approach me and we've talked and like she just came up to me and we actually had a conversation. It didn't take me out of my masculine role. It just showed me that she showed interest in me and we just started talking from there. So I wasn't in a soft guy era. It was just like she decided to say something to me. And it was not the fact that I couldn't say something to her, but that wasn't my expectation of her. Like, oh yeah, like I'm expecting women to come up to me now. Like I mean, I guess I'm having a hard time with the expectation part because you can require more. You can require your woman to be more, whatever you want in a relationship. I don't see how that's taking you out of your role though, as a man. I guess I'm lost.
I think that's a misconception. So I don't think that's what the last part, the latter end of what you said. I don't think it's that. Like, Jay, I'm not trying to be funny and I'm not trolling. I think you're literally explaining soft guy. but you don't want to say it. Go ahead, Asia. I see you.
No, yeah, because I was gonna say,
like, how do you feel?
From my understanding, and I could be wrong, but from what I remember from last year, it basically would be to Jay's scenario, right? Like, shorty comes up to you and she's saying, "Okay, like I like you, blah blah blah," and then your response would be, "Prove it."
Oh no, whoa.
Show me.
Yeah, no, that's about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but in the sense of, because what was said was, if she likes you, she should show you, right? So in your scenario, Jay, if she comes up to you and she's approaching you and she's like, "Hey," you know what I'm saying, like all this stuff, it's not to say that you wouldn't then, like, I don't know, buy her dinner, all that kind of stuff. But the expectation would be that she is also reciprocating. If she came up to you, she should now be showing you that she wants you just as much as you want her. It's just because she came up to you first.
Yeah, and the conversation came up about like buying drinks too. Like, well, don't buy no drink or whatever, because I'm in my soft guy era.
This is so stupid. This is dumb.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie. It like, man, y'all be killing me, bro. I ain't even gonna say what I'm about to say. I don't even feel like that's crazy.
Nah, because I'm confused.
Nah, Jay, I'm not trying to be funny. What you're explaining. So I'm gonna just ask you questions, and I'm gonna say soft guy era or not.
Okay.
If that was to happen,
in that scenario, the only reason why I did not approach because I was actually doing something.
Jay, it's all about it being mutual. It's being mutual. To me, the soft guy era eliminates the pursuit one way. It's like all mutual. If she call you on Monday, you calling her on like it's all mutual. You plan the first date, she planned the second, and it's your expectation that it happens.
Okay.
So
I think
go ahead, Princess. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So
it's
Jay, my question. So my question would be to you is if you did meet a young lady like that, does she have to show interest, or does she have to show you continuously that she's interested or match whatever said actions you do?
No, she don't. Because at the beginning, I can pick up on, like, first of all, I'm gonna have to.
Jay ass is lying.
Hey, you crazy as hell. I ain't lying about that. You know, I don't even get up here, Cap, at all. I'm being real. Go ahead. If I'm pursuing somebody, we set up dates. That's cool. I get that, but I'm not gonna expect you because I took you on the first date. Like, yeah, come next week. Yeah, this what I expect you to be doing. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Now, if she volunteers and say, "Hey, you know what? I had a great time with you. I want to take you on a date." Okay.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
All right. For a man to even use that soft guy air crap is pathetic, honestly. I could be submissive to my man as his woman, and a man could be in touch with his emotions and still be the man. I don't think a real man would ever use that.
I agree.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I do agree too. I just think my whole thing was what Jay explained earlier was the literal definition. Like, I think go ahead, Princess.
What did I explain earlier?
I don't think a man having expectations means that he's in his soft guy era, though. Like
Right.
to me, soft guy era with the example
I
that
agree
Jay
with that.
just gave, soft guy era would be like if the girl approached him, right? And then Jay would be like, "Oh, okay, well, buy me a drink then if you want to have a conversation." That's some soft guy era shit. That's what that sounds like to me. Okay? Because even though the woman made the first move, a masculine man, if he's interested, is gonna, if he wants to, like, whatever, he'd be like, "Oh, well, let me buy you a drink, you know, let's talk, like, blah blah blah." He wouldn't be looking at her like, "Oh, okay, you gonna take me to the bar?" Like, what? That's what soft guy sounds like to me.
But
hey man, let him know something, dog.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
we already had this conversation. I was waiting for him to put a comment in there.
Yeah. But
hey, hold on, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah. Go back and
Yes.
watch it. Oh yeah.
Oh, my dog. No.
Hey.
Oh, I did not know that.
He said soft guy era isn't meant to be taken literal or the way or in the way women use or weaponize it.
It shouldn't have.
Then don't say it. Then don't say it because it doesn't exist. It's stupid and it doesn't exist. I just think that like you're a man, okay? Grow some. Y'all almost made me say something I shouldn't say online. But you like the literal definition of that. I'm listening to y'all, and the reason why I keep saying that it's dumb is because I just feel like it just does not exist. Like it's okay to have expectations, even to your example, Princess. Like if a dude says, "Oh, you're not gonna buy me a drink," like then that's a then conversation of what we're having. I don't necessarily think that classifies as a soft guy era. For me, it's more like what comes after that. Like now you're expecting all these other things that usually is on the male role side. Even if biblically speaking, like the man that finds a wife finds a good thing. Women are not made to pursue anything. So the mutuality of pursuit for me makes no sense. And I just think it's stupid. That doesn't mean that I don't have interest. That doesn't mean I can't submit to my man or I can't do things for my man without him asking. However, the mutual pursuit thing, that's dumb. That's dumb.
I think there's a mutual pursuit. I just think it looks different. I think when a woman's interested, she does things like Jay was saying earlier. I do believe it's mutual. I just don't think the actions are the same. That's what I would say. I do believe that. I just don't think the actions. I don't think it's so transactional. Like I did this, you do that. But there's things that women do continuously to show you that they're interested.
For sure.
So so it's not a pursuit. Necessarily, but like leaving the tracks on the ground to know you going through it the right way type vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like she'll let you know you gotta pick up on it. I would agree with that.
Okay.
But that soft guy arrogant princess up in a helm every time.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear about it no more. To be honest, I don't want to hear about it no more.
All right, Asia, I'm throwing it to you, Asia.
Okay, speaking of labels and things like that, why is it right? Like, why do women get labeled as gold diggers for having standards, but men get praised for wanting submission?
Yes. Yeah, I can tell you why I'm awake though, because it's all night.
Wait, you said why do women get labeled as gold diggers for having standards?
For money.
Like having like higher standards. Like yeah, for example, there was actually just a post that G was telling me about that somebody had put up a post about Deion Sanders' ex-wife, right? And was just like, yo, like she won. Like she actually won because even though they got divorced, like she's getting X amount of money. Basically, and the post was like she went after a king. And so now she has the life that lines up with that, even if the marriage did not last, right? But some people will deem her as a gold digger. Like, yeah, like she was a gold digger. But it's like, but she got the life that a lot of women like dream of and they're trying to have. Right. So for some people, they're like, they label her as the gold digger. But then if Deion Sanders or some other man, you know, it's like, oh, your girl's like submissive to you. Like that's what they're getting praised for. Right. Because they're looking for that submission. and for wanting that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Pilar is a gold digger in that scenario. Her and Dion were both pursuing each other, and however that thing happened, they had kids together, they were married, they built a future together, and that's naturally what happens after a divorce. Things have to get split up, kids, houses, whatever. To me, my definition of a gold digger is a woman that's asking for something that she can't provide for herself. You get what I'm saying? So if you're sitting here asking for me to do said thing, I want a BMW this, I want this and that, but you are unable to provide it for yourself, then that's gold digger mentality to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead. No.
In order for a man to get praise, I'm asking a question. In order for a man to get praise about submission, wouldn't that have to? Wouldn't people have to feel like submissiveness isn't a thing? So I guess are people really out here thinking like they're not supposed to submit to their spouse, not partner, in order for it to be compared to one another? You get what I'm saying? Like if I'm praising you for being a man, being praised for having a submissive partner or a spouse or whatever, isn't that supposed to be what it is? Are people not thinking like that?
People do think that way, right? And to be honest, a lot of times they think about that in regard to Black women. People literally are like, oh, you got a Black woman and you got money and she's actually submitting to you. That's crazy. That's wild. They won't do that about other women. But when it comes to Black women, people really get surprised and will praise them. That it's like, wow, you got a good one.
Good one. That's facts though. For sure. That's facts.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It is. They only do that though, Asia, because like of the stereotype that's been being put on Black women. Like, oh, nah, they too independent. You can't, even the Black men that are out here, like, are basically saying that. Like, I remember seeing something on a podcast with the guy that played Biggie. His name is Gravy, but he plays in a lot of Tubi movies. And he was basically saying, like, once he started dating outside his race is when he started getting the love and submission that he was looking for. So I think because so many people are saying it, when you do see a Black woman doing that, she's an anomaly now. It's like, no, it's plenty of Black women doing it out here. Y'all just not broadcasting it.
That's because other races are actually groomed to be gold diggers. They're just also groomed to not necessarily be as vocal. I'll put it that way. And I've talked about this before on the podcast. Like in other races and other cultures, it's literally the thing of like, you go after the guy in high school that I already know that his parents have X amount of money. You go sit next to him. Like that is how they're groomed and they're taught. But they're also taught to like, all right, if you're going to be with this man with money or whatever, because that's what I'm sending you after, then you have to act a certain way. So he'll keep buying you all the nice things and you'll have your house and, but on the flip side of that, that's really not how Black women are groomed in life.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. That's real. DJ Marcusell said women having standards doesn't make them gold diggers. Is how they frame their standards that comes off that way. I would agree with that. I think
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Men shouldn't ever ask for submission though. Either she gives it willingly or she don't, and you move on.
I agree with
say
that
this,
too.
man.
You're making up, Marcus. Yeah.
But I will say she ain't submitting to no broke dude. I will say that. Yeah, I'll say that. Why they clapping? He can't be broke. I'm telling you that right now. See, and that's where my problem lies. I'm not saying that the woman is a gold digger, but bread plays a factor into that.
Yeah, because provider plays a factor into a man that can sustain his household. So if you broke, you can't do nothing for me. Bye. I'm not submitting to that. No.
Because a part of submission is feeling safe. No, seriously.
I agree.
Around the topic that like
That's
finances play a part in that. Like I have to feel safe in order to submit.
What if you don't need? But what if you don't need that, princess? What if you don't need the money?
If I don't need the money,
you feel financially safe on your own. I'm only asking a question just for perspective. You feel financially safe on your own though, and he provides in all the other ways or whatever the needs may be. Why would that still play into that decision?
Because part of me being able to submit to a man, I also need to know that you are not broke on your own. I might be okay on my own, but if you're broke on your own, I still don't feel safe over there. Because what if I lose my job? Then I'm just as broke as you.
Okay.
And that's not gonna work.
Hey, security. I need security.
No, that's it's the security thing. Like I cannot submit to that.
Yep.
Because you.
So cool. Follow up question. So if he doesn't bring more expenses to your life, does it change anything?
What you like he's dead.
Like, because you know some dudes may be broke and they costing you money too. You see what I'm saying? There's two types of broke dudes. Ones that don't cost you no money and ones that do. So I'm saying it's not like he's asking you to whine, and I don't want to put no stipulation on it, but like he's not an yeah. So would that
he's
change?
He's not mooching on what I have. He's just straight level broke.
Yeah. What straight level broke is insane.
Straight level broke. Oh. Hey, come on, man.
There's tears.
Yeah.
There's tears.
Does it impede on that?
Yeah, because what I just said still stands though. Because just because you're not asking me to do all the things for you, I still need to know that you can stand on your own.
I don't want to get
because if not, now that I'm thinking about it, it would be like, because we don't talk about dudes being gold diggers, but like in my head, at that point, it's like by Jay's definition of it would have to be when he said the definition, it's a woman that like she's not a gold digger if she can provide it on her own, right? So if this guy is just sitting on the couch not doing nothing, and he's tier 2 broke, you know what I'm saying, no process for a job, nothing. At that point, he's also a gold digger, and it don't matter if I'm making only 70K, right, or only 60K. If he's not doing nothing and he can't do it for himself, he's also a gold digger.
But I think that should be
talked about a lot more than it is.
But I feel like women could be making money and still be gold diggers, making very good money and still be gold diggers. I've seen women with my own eyes.
Absolutely.
Work.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Work to get to a point in order to get in the rooms to be able to infiltrate that. You get what I'm saying? And then we'll freely like infiltrate whatever said thing. And like, hey, that's something that trade-off work for some people. Like I do this and get this, and you be quiet, and we cool. You know what I'm saying? But like, so Sharpe said, I feel like people don't recognize that Black women have standards and expectations. Meanwhile, I think a lot of men are praised when they are in any position of control, i.e., having a submissive woman.
I agree.
That's true.
Man, I just want to say, yo, I'm not going to say Black women specifically. I think there is a disconnect in how standards are communicated. I feel like a lot of the time it's uncommunicated expectations, and it ends up getting choppy because jokers really don't know what you expect for real. But you got them in your mind, and I got to read your mind, but you never told me that. And I could have been providing that if you would have said that. But, you know, and I'm not saying we got to, because I don't want to get into pickup on content. I don't want to get into that because I could argue that all day. But I feel like and it may be men guilty of it too, but right now I'm just speaking to the comment that she said. Like, you know, I think we do recognize their expectations, but maybe and hey, look, y'all, don't kill me, but I'm gonna say I do mean what I'm about to say, but I'm willing to have a conversation. Like maybe from a place of trauma, insecurity, mistrust, being mishandled in the past. The way that expectation is communicated, she may not be comfortable with. So it's there, but it's not being said. And it comes out in different actions. And what I mean by that is, say you dealt with whatever you dealt with, and now you're not off, you don't want that. And it's like, you can't tell him what to do. You can only tell him what not to do. And that don't always work out.
Are you still talking about like from a gold digging aspect, like financial wise?
No, I mean she said
general?
women have standards and expectations, period. So I'm saying like
okay.
overall, it's kind of like how are they being communicated? How are they being shown?
Yeah.
But
Because
I think
Mhm.
I think only some. I think there are some expectations though that really there's some communications that for me, if I have to communicate it, it's a problem. Like
what are
for
they?
example, and
Mhm.
this is, and I'm gonna use a small thing, but it's like if I am actually, as somebody say this earlier today, if me and my guy are walking down the street, right? If I'm on the outside where the cars are like coming, I should not have to say move to the outside. So I'm on the inside.
Right.
Because that helps me to feel safe. I should not have to say that. That's an expectation that for me, if I have to say that, I do have a problem with that.
May I?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree that you should not be on the outside. However, that Asia, is that not a little dangerous to say that like that's common knowledge?
What?
I'm not being funny. I am so not being funny, yo.
Yeah, no, it's that's real. That's real. It's very real.
So that's first of all should be common knowledge. But this goes back to the point of like a man and defining what safety,
You
security.
are literally explaining uncommunicated expectations.
But to Asia's point, she's saying that those are expectations that don't need to be discussed because they are common knowledge. So that's not an uncommunicated expectation because we don't have an expectation to communicate that because it's supposed to be common knowledge.
Dog, that is not common knowledge.
Yeah. I hate to agree with Keenan. Ugh.
Oh, thank you. What?
That is wild. Like it's news to me that it's not common knowledge.
I will say, I think because a lot of people did not grow up in a home where they had specifically, you know, like I'm speaking from us, right? Didn't necessarily grow up in a home that like had a father to teach them certain things. Like you walk, you know, closer to the street. If you're in a restaurant, your back is never to the door because you need to be able to see.
Right.
The woman sits, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. You open the car door, you pump the gas, like certain things that, you know, like we could take for granted that was taught to everyone. So my rule of thumb is like, if I have to call it, first of all, I don't want to, so I feel y'all. But if I have to call it, how quickly you adjust is going to tell me what I need to know. Because I've had a situation like that happen with opening the car door. That's an expectation for me. And so when it wasn't happening, I called it. The response was, oh, that's what you need? Like, oh, okay. Like, you know, like
I agree with that.
And I haven't had, you know, like, but if I hadn't said anything, it would have been different.
Princess, I agree with you 150%. I just really have a tough time understanding how certain things aren't common knowledge, even though you were not taught because you didn't have a father figure in your life or a brother, mentor, whatever it is. Y'all Negroes watch TV. There's hella movies that are displaying this stuff. Like there's so many other ways that have shown people literally use social media, movies, TV shows as the way in which they treat their own relationships. So you mean to tell me that you have not seen something where this is a commonality across the board in your 30, 40 something odd years of life? So when we go on a date now, it's not common knowledge for you to do those said things in 30 years of your life? I just have a really time.
They want us to play basketball with them and fall in love because they see love in basketball, but they don't want me to be walking on the inside. Like that, like and I'm being funny in this moment and I'm being for real. Like it is really news to me. And I guess this is also keen to your question though. A part of the reason why I would not communicate something like that, because for me, my belief is that it is common knowledge. I'm learning right here tonight that me walking on the inside is not common knowledge. And I'm being dead serious. So for me, I wouldn't even think to say that until, to Princess's point, in the moment it's not happening. Now I have to communicate it with an attitude, which maybe I shouldn't have it, but I would have an attitude, because for me, I'm under the belief that it's common knowledge. So for me, I'm like, how does everybody in the world know it, but you don't? Like that. That for me, yeah.
Respect, but I'll give a different perspective than what Brittany was saying. Princess, I almost forgot you was from where my grandma is, but like I use where we spend a lot of time in Goldsboro, North Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. You ain't walking on no sidewalks, so like you're not doing that enough for that to be the norm of that. You're from a city where there's that all the
wait,
time.
bro, wait.
You on dirt roads?
You up here talking about we ain't got no sidewalks?
No, y'all missing me, man. What Asia is referring to, no, what I'm saying is what I envision is when we're walking, like when we here in DC and we're walking where there's high traffic, because if there has to be something to protect her from. What I'm saying is you're not walking in a lot of high traffic areas in rural cities.
So it don't matter what side of the road she on.
No.
What?
It don't matter what side of the dirt road she on then.
That's not what I'm saying.
And the roads aren't dirt.
Hey, no, I didn't say it was dirt roads. What I'm saying is Asia was referring to somebody walking on her walking on the inside, him walking on the outside. What I'm saying is, I'm assuming this, but from her experience of how she came up, there's a lot of busy roads where you're doing crosswalks and cars are flying by and things of that nature. What I'm saying, I did say no sidewalks, but the sidewalks that I'm speaking of aren't by busy roads. That may not be the norm of that place in rural cities. From where when I go to my grandmother's house, or if I'm in Grantham, North Carolina, I'm gonna be real with you. We're not that ain't a thing. It's no real busy road to think like that. So I'm saying that to say somebody may not grow up in a place where that's normalized, where there needs to be protection from in that environment.
So let me ask you a question. You grew up there, didn't you?
No, I grew up in Raleigh. And I'll be transparent and say I didn't learn that growing up in Raleigh. I learned that when I got older, when I was here. Like, oh shit, like, yeah. And it wasn't even like I knew it. It was just natural for me to do it because there was a lot of cars. So I'm not gonna sit there and act like, oh no, I knew that. No, it was just a lot of cars going by, you moving, walking through the city. So like, yeah, but like,
right.
But Asia, you're
on mute.
You're on mute, yeah.
Oh, I was saying, does the same thing apply to children? Like, like if you're walking on a sidewalk with children, you mean to tell me your common knowledge, your dumb self, is not going to slide over having the kid on the inside versus the outside? I just feel like it's just common sense to do those things naturally. Whether you're on a high,
don't confuse common sense and common knowledge, though. That ain't fair.
Okay, you're right. I feel like it's common knowledge, right? Because meaning you learned it from somewhere. It is a learned behavior, however you received it, to do the said thing, which is walking on the outside of the road, whether there's high traffic or not, whether you learned it, whether you grew up on dirt roads or not. At some point in your life, is what I'm saying, at this big age that we're talking about, you have come across that. I don't learning that. I don't know.
I'm not saying he shouldn't do it. Let me be clear. But I think that's a dangerous assumption.
Okay.
If it's something that you care about, that's a dangerous assumption.
Okay.
And I think Princess using the example of opening the door is a great example of something that may be normed, but it's not common knowledge. It was normed to her, but it's not common knowledge to whoever you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think the most,
because if you grew up not seeing somebody do that, or like it might just be like, oh, okay. And even like the example with movies and stuff, I don't think if you know it as common knowledge, when you see it, it's like, oh, okay, good job, like he's doing that. But if you don't already have that common knowledge, it could be right in front of you, or you could see it in a movie with, the man is walking on the outside or whatever, but it's not going to register to you what exactly that man is doing. It just looks like two people walking down the sidewalk.
Right.
Y'all are blowing my mind right now. Like, I mean this in the for real way. There's just certain things that for me, it literally just, I'm like, wow, I did not know. that grown men were out here letting their lady walk on the street side.
So Asia, hold on, time out. Let me clarify something before I read this comment. The only issue I had with what you said is that the fact that you said that's something you would not say. And I don't think that a guy's, I don't think he has an issue doing it. I'm not saying he shouldn't do it. I'm just saying the fact that, like, I just love Princess example. Like, hey, my boy, if you want to stay here, you better get on that outside.
Yeah,
and if
no,
I
agree. I agree with what Princess said. I'm saying that for me, I wouldn't even think to say, hey, when we walk down the street, hey, I'm gonna need you to be on the outside. Like, that would never occur to me, because for me, I'm learning tonight that this is not common knowledge. So I'm going into that situation thinking this is common knowledge. And granted, to your point, that would be, I guess, a conversation that I don't see myself having in my 30s.
And I don't think you
that,
should.
like, in my 30s.
I don't think you should unless it actually in the moment. Like, if you really, really like dude, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, like, maybe there's a buildup. Y'all been talking, you know, like, whatever, and this is your first date. And then y'all are at the restaurant, and he put, you know, like, he has his back to the door. Or, you know, like, whatever the norm is.
Right.
Like, in that moment, in your mind, you're going to be like, last date. You know what I mean? Or you're going to be like, I would just go ahead and call it. Because either the next day, you're going to sit in the right seat, or I'm going to think, you know, something is.
You know, I get that. And I have done that.
No, I said the next
I
date.
have done that before. I've done that with
That's
that
what I was
exact scenario, though, where I've said, like, oh, I never sit with my back toward the door. Like, I have actually said that before. So,
That's
like
fair.
I said, I agree with Princess is saying. Certain things I just wouldn't think to have the conversation.
Yeah, because I'm not saying it up front.
Yeah,
I'm not about to give you a list of norms.
I agree with
front. Like, no.
So
if you
I
mess
would.
up, okay, but
So
no.
even if it wasn't how you were raised, at what standard do you hold a woman to? Simply PR? I mean, the raising, I think there's a lot of common knowledge things men should know. Opening doors, pulling out seats, sitting. Like, it's just the sidewalk thing. I don't think that is in that thing. Like, opening, I must just keep it at opening the door when she walked through. Like, I feel like that's.
I think the sidewalk thing, this kind of goes back to the masculinity thing that we were talking about earlier. All of this, not sitting with your back against the door, opening the door for your woman, all of this is considered a protection, right? You're walking on the outside as a protection. So I like the example. Say again?
I mean, you should open the door for your lady. That's not a protection thing, though. That's just
if you
your lady. You just don't open doors.
Turn the car first, so if something happens, she's out of home.
Oh, I'm talking about a regular door. My bad. I'm talking about a door to establishments. I'm sorry. We talking about two different doors.
No. I was talking about like the car. So what I'm saying is to go back to Asia's
I get
point.
what you're saying.
I understand what she's saying as far as like if I have to communicate that, then she may feel a certain type way. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This is me being real, bro. To me, that shit should be common knowledge. I know a lot of people saying it's not, but bro, it's too much stuff out here, too much technology. You can be walking on the street by yourself, and you can look and see another couple in front of you and see you ain't walking the same way they walk. That's just common sense.
But you just use common knowledge and common sense interchangeably.
Okay, that's common knowledge.
It's not. Bro, common knowledge means every single person knows it. It's not common knowledge, bro.
Okay. Next time people know it.
I think it's common knowledge, but to me, it's not common sense. I don't think I would deem that as common sense. I think I would deem it as common knowledge.
Okay, I'm not going. I could debate that, but I'm not going to because of time. I get you though. Is it fair to assume? No, I'm serious though, because see, I'm about to debate it.
No, you good. You good. We don't have to debate that.
Yeah. Is it fair to assume then communication if it's not done? Because honestly, if a man doesn't open the door, sit facing the door, walk on the outside, etc., it's a red flag. Hey, look, get it how you live. It could be a red flag. It's gonna be. Yeah. It could be a red flag. I wasn't never saying it wasn't, but I think they get that one. Now they do none of them. If you go on a date and you don't get any of them, then it's a red flag. Like you ain't get one. Out of there.
Yeah.
protect the women. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Asia, I feel like you think I was saying like don't protect women. Let her be on the outside.
No, what? Because for me, it's like it don't matter if we in a city, if we on a dirt road, if we wherever we at. I should be on the inside because you should be protecting me. Like in my head, it does not matter where we are. My thing, to Jay's point, is protect me, make me feel safe.
So, Asia, may I ask a question? Because I'm trying not to. If we walking down the dirt road where no cars are going anyway, why do you have to be on the outside? I'm just asking.
Because if a mass murderer comes out of nowhere with a chainsaw and is running down the street, he better get you first, and then so I can run away.
What does being on the outside of me have to do with that?
What, you could push me out the way, you could cover me. There's so for me, there's so many different things. And you can't ask me questions like this. I'm an overthinker, right? Who has ADHD? I'm thinking of the worst case scenario at all times.
Yeah, that chainsaw was aggressive.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. And that's the first thing that came to my mind, Jay.
Asia living in a scary movie.
You got it. For real though. Protect me.
We talking about Goldsboro, ain't we? Jesus Christ.
It's not even that, because I'm not trying to be funny to Goldsboro. I'm just saying, y'all got it, bro.
Yes, he was.
Nah, hey, look, where my grandfather lived in Grantham, North Carolina, where you walking down a dirt road, outside, inside, the threat ain't the car. You be in the inside by the woods, and then when something come out of there, you're gonna be mad at me anyway.
Okay, well, wherever the perceived threat would come from, cover me.
But that's not the outside. See, that's that bullshit
right
there. Ella, did you catch it?
I'm switching it from what you said. If you are from that area and you know that no cars are gonna come and the person and whatever, the animal's gonna jump out from the woods, then be on the side of the woods. Cover me. That's my point. My whole point is cover me.
Yeah. But fellas, get on the outside.
Yeah.
Asia, you want to jump? You want to grab the last one, or you want? Oh no, it's my go. I'm sorry. It's me. You just did that one. So God, boy, we going at it tonight. Are black men intimidated by successful black women, or are they choosing wrong?
Oh, y'all on fire tonight with these, boys.
Are black men intimidated by successful black women, or are they choosing wrong?
Both of them.
Both of them, Brittany. Both of them.
They choosing wrong and they intimidated.
Jesus.
Princess Jay.
It depends.
I'll let Princess take first.
She went an hour and 12 minutes before we got our first one. I'll take that, bro. I'll take that.
It depends on the man, but if I just had to give a straight answer, I would say yes, they are intimidated.
Damn, we was doing good, man.
Yeah.
Why you feel like they're intimidated?
Because it depends on the man. If he's intimidated by a successful black woman, most times the go ahead, Jay.
No, you go. I want to hear you. Go ahead.
No, I actually want to hear you. Go ahead. You said the only way what?
Okay. No, I'm not gonna say the only way. That's why I wanted to reword that. So I think in that scenario, I can see that happening if she's like extremely more successful than him and he's not really making them like nowhere near what he wants to make. I don't see that. I don't see how success. I guess because I'm in a different era in my life, so I don't see how.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely that era. Yeah, but that was well played. That was well played.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that a lot of black men are intimidated by it. I think that a lot of black women want them to be intimidated by it because they want to be empowered and want to feel empowered. Because for so long they have felt like they have been oppressed and like, oh, the expectation was for me to, do all this for you. But now that I'm in the power seat, your ass down there scared now. But when you're dealing with a real man, none of that matters.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
but I also don't agree that black women want you to be intimidated just because they're successful.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, man, and I'm not being negative, y'all. We just talking. I've experienced, even when you're not necessarily dating them, right? But you could be in rooms with people. I feel like most rooms at where most of us are at are kind of like we have some type of leverage in the rooms we in. Let's just say that, right? I think there is the only caveat I would say is like, I don't think a successful black man is intimidated by a successful black woman. Like if he could, because 9 times out of 10, you've crossed paths with one, or you work with one, or you've been in the environments in which some of those character traits, are what's the word I'm looking for? Are they operate in both places. However, I will say this. I have seen women lead with like their success to try to intimidate a guy. Like when they lead with that, I feel like that's trying to see if he'll be intimidated by that. But if he's just turned off by it, that may not be intimidation. He may like, what? Nah, I'm good.
I think I've seen it. I've seen it like where, how do I describe this? I guess the best way I can say it is like when a woman's success is not capped, but a guy's success is capped. That's where I've seen some tension. Because like I legit have a friend, and like her dude at the time, like he was in school for something, right? But she was like within her space, she was getting like offers, and she was like soaring. He was good, and she was holding him down. Like they were good until she started soaring, and at the time for him, his success was capped because he still hadn't finished school yet. And so when that time came, whether it was intimidation or not, it became a competition for him. And that was very, very present. And so it comes off as intimidation because like, why do you feel the need to compete with your girl? She's been holding you down. It's just her time right now. Your time will come. You just got to finish school. But it didn't seem like he saw it that way at all.
I ain't lying, bro. That is a go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say, Asia, real quick. What I got out of that scenario is I don't know if he was intimidated and trying to compete with his woman. I think he was more intimidated of the men that he was going to have to compete with now, based off her success. Because he's kind of capped out right now. He knows she's going to different rooms. She's
dang, Jay.
Like I don't think he intimidated her.
And I'm only saying this part because obviously I saw it. It wasn't that. She was very like because they were so tight. Like it was like one of those. He was good because she was holding him down. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, you saw one, you saw the other. There was no question about it. But it was as soon as she started to get where she said she was going to go, because they both had visions, both had dreams, all that kind of stuff. She really started like making strides where she was going and wanted to go. For him, his path wasn't as certain, I don't think. But
I can, in Asia, to your example, I've seen that, but I've also seen that same scenario play out differently in terms of a good man that understands, uses it as a motivator, right? So now my woman is excelling. Boom, she's a successful Black woman. I'm not necessarily intimidated. I'm motivated to keep up with the Joneses. Has nothing to do with competition, has nothing to do with, oh, she about to outshine me or who she's going to meet at the top. Like, nah, I really got a trophy on my arm. It's motivating me to keep going, right? I've seen it kind of play out in both scenarios.
I think the best way to manage that, I'm gonna go twofold: been together or just meeting. Been together, I think is different if you've been a part of that success or you've been intentional about trying to get her there. I think that may make you feel it. That may ease it over. Like, and she may acknowledge it in public spaces, right? Like, what's my couple's name, man? Tabitha and Chance. Like, I think the way she's like taking off, but they both acknowledge the sacrifices they made, and she knows as well as he knows, like they had to trade places for a second in order for us to win. So I think being a part of it and acknowledging it, you get what I'm saying? It's like people don't realize, like sometimes you got to validate that every now and again. You don't know how folks feeling about themselves at the time. Now, when you meet in somebody and that's the situation, I think it's best to like do I see myself in that lifestyle? You get what I'm saying? Like if I'm the guy and she may be more successful than I am at this current moment, and we vibing, we talking, and I see where you're headed, do I see myself in that realm? You get what I'm saying? Because hey, let's be real, careers matter, right? There's a lot of careers that like the ceiling, this like to the cap. I can't remember who said it. Was that you, Asia?
Yeah.
Asia yeah. We're like, I can get to the top of mine and be good and making the top of mine, but there's other industries where the top is just forever going, so it's always revolving. It's not a ever sit and chill. You get what I'm saying? It's more about if you gonna settle like, oh, can I see? Okay, because what come with it, fuck the money, busyness. The higher you go up, the bit typically there's a drop off after you get to a certain point, but like until you get to that point, you working your ass off, and then you cross over into being able to chill. You get what I'm saying? So like intimidation to me is just the wrong word. Intimidated, I should say. It's like, because I want to say something. I'm gonna get in trouble, man.
Say it.
Nah.
Get in trouble. Go on.
Because I think the driving force, and I feel like I'm like because it's a woman question. I feel like the driving force behind why a woman is successful can also play into how it's presented. Does that make sense? Like, okay, so like some women have brought up and always had this ambition about being said thing. You get what I'm saying? But if she had got her success through trauma, and I'm never going to go back to this, and I'm never doing this again, and I'm never doing that again, and I'm going through all these different things. That type of how you got that presents very differently than the person that has a goal that they've always wanted and had the resources and the stability to pursue that in a very a good environment, if that makes sense. Like your parents set you up, you were able to pursue your dreams. You're doing camps. You had this vision since you was 11, but you may have this person over here, single family, didn't have the bread, every man for himself. I had to get it. I ain't never going back to it. That success get presented a lot different in environments. And when I say represented, like how protective one may be over it.
That's good.
I think that's fair. Because I mean, and this is taking it far left, but I feel like rappers do that all the time, right? Like even bring it to like 8 Mile. Like no funny, but like you had, Eminem's role, and he was like, I got it out the mud. And then at the end, where y'all talking about, then you had Clarence. It's like, my boy, you didn't really work for this. You didn't work as hard as I did, right? So he went harder. He went harder to like really like, you know what I'm saying, to like solidify.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be funny, but a lot of those rappers also crash out. A high percentage of those crash out.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And some of them fake a struggle.
Shout out to
too. So
you said shout out to who?
Shout out to Papa Doc.
Yeah.
For faking struggle.
All right, man. We're gonna get into this fair foul and get up out of here. Yo, somebody come get Jay, man. All right, we about to get into this fair foul and then we up out of here. All right, fair or foul. Accepting lunch from a coworker after your partner stopped cooking or relieve themselves of that duty. Is that fair or is that foul? Partner said, I ain't cooking no more. I ain't doing that. So you getting a little plug at work. Nothing more, nothing less.
Boy.
Hey, Jay, I'm going to have to start with you, bro. I'm going to have to start with you, bro. We're going to say fair or foul, and then we get into the conversation. Is that fair or is that foul?
That's fair.
Princess?
I think it's fair.
Okay, Asia?
I think it's foul.
Brittany?
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. Something
Accepting lunch from a coworker after your partner relieves themselves of that duty. So they stop cooking. So you got a little plug at work now because they won't making the lunch no more.
Is the coworker the opposite sex?
See, it always see what I'm saying?
That's a legit question. Because if it's,
I'm gonna go on a limb and say, yeah.
Nah, bro.
See, this is why I'm gonna say fair.
Foul.
That's where people go. See, that's what relationship. You can't stop doing something and then be mad about how I go about after you stop it. You can't do that. You can't control my reaction till you stop cooking.
Okay,
that's a fact.
So you can't control my reaction when you get home and your ass is on the couch.
You're not gonna know. You think I'm gonna come home and tell you?
No.
See, that's in my mind. That's how I know it's foul. Because if you can't come home to tell me, you know it's a problem. If you cannot come home to tell me how good the lasagna was, how good the pasta was,
from Patrice,
that old girl made, you know it's a problem.
Her name Patrice.
Like,
hey,
you know it's a problem.
Girl.
And I would much rather it be
lasagna was.
Yeah, I would much rather it be like bought my lunch versus made my lunch. It's levels as well.
Okay. Hey, Walker,
excuse me.
They might be making it with love.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. You better take his ass to Chick-fil-A. Shit.
Hey.
And like, but
don't
for real, because
no love and no lasagna, and that's his favorite. Right. Are you kidding me? Because I'm about to be up there tomorrow.
Hey, Princess,
so why
you stop making it?
Cooking?
You stop making it?
Thank you.
What? So you want to eat your lasagna? You make it.
But these are good questions. Why did I stop?
Yeah,
cooking,
I mean,
right?
Yeah, why did I stop cooking?
Did I have your kids? Well, that doesn't make sense because I got to be cooking for the kids. But I'm just saying, like, did I just like I feel like there are reasons why, because if you complained about how you didn't like how I was seasoning up my food, and now it's like, okay, bet, then go ahead and DoorDash it. It shouldn't. The next stop should not be Patrice, who I already knew was your work wife, and you've been telling me not to worry about her, and now is, oh babe, don't worry about cooking this week. Oh, why not?
Man,
I'm texting like, hey, what's on the menu? What's on the menu? What we looking like?
It's foul. This is going down the turn.
They chicken tomorrow.
It's like, babe, I just need you to pack me some ranch. For what?
Hey, I'm standing by my joint. Do not take something away from me and then try to control my reaction to it. That's not fair.
That's such a slippery slope, because that's like saying, like, if I stop, but for me, it doesn't stop at cooking. For me, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because now you're saying if I had a bad week or a bad time and I'm not giving it up, now I can't be upset when you cheat. Like that feels weird. It's a slippery slope, is what I'm saying.
Why you see they be jumping to abyss? If you go outside the relationship because something is lacking in the relationship, that's a slippery slope real bad.
Yeah, that part.
No.
The reason why I don't think it's a slippery slope is because she communicated that she's not doing that.
That does not give you the green light to then go get it done by somebody else.
We're talking about food here, guys.
So
We're talking
about food. So what if he didn't tell Patrice?
That's different. That's different.
What if he didn't tell Patrice, right? Like, what if he didn't tell Patrice, and Patrice was just like, oh, like, I'm going to go, like, you know how people do, like, the little lunch runs? Like, you got that one person that's, like, go get food or whatever. And she's like, oh, I got it. Is that different? Or if your partner is out and somebody, like, buys them a drink, is that, I mean, to me, that's, like, kind of the same. It depends on the context, but I'm just, like, giving another example.
So,
I think it's different, but what I will say is I would be more upset if Patricia, that's her name, if Patricia is the work wife. Patrice. If Patrice is the work wife, for me it's like, why did you feel comfortable to now tell her I'm not cooking for you? You know what I'm saying? It's like if she's asking questions,
she just noted.
And she's like, oh, you don't have lunch? It's like,
your wife not cooking.
My wife's not cooking. You could have said anything. You could have lied to Patrice.
Why the hell are you
asking?
Why
did you tell your work wife that I'm not cooking for you at home? Like, y'all too comfortable. Of course.
This is the same person, Asia. I rock with you. You my good peoples. This is the same person that said you do not believe in lying. So I gotta tell her the truth.
No, that's a fact. But what I'm saying is, you don't need to tell her. Because for me but what I'm saying is it shouldn't be something where this person, because I did say that, right? But it shouldn't be that your work wife knows what's going on in our home. That's the point I'm really making. Mm-hmm. So for me, it does make a difference for me if she just did it and you accepted it, as opposed to you told her that I was not cooking for you, and now she feels it's her work wifely duties to now feed you. Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
Yeah. So what should the answer be?
Y'all assuming that he told her.
No. I'm saying if he did, going back to I was going off of your example of like what would make it different. So I'm saying for me, if he did, like that's what would make it like super, like that's too much for me, slippery slope.
So what would it be like if she was like on, like, you seen her name in the phone before, no funny business, and like on Sunday she said like, hey, I'm about to put a couple of
what
on. You want some for tomorrow?
Yeah, no.
No, I'm straight. I'm fasting.
Trolling now.
I'm straight.
He really is trolling. Like,
I know he
come
is.
on.
But I will say this. All seriousness, a consistent lunch would be a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a consistent one, like you know what I'm saying? Or she make you one thing, you liked it, and she start making. It's not consistent every week, but she gives you that consistently. Does that make sense?
That lasagna. Mm-hmm.
Real scenario.
A cooked lunch, to me, a cooked lunch is a problem.
But
I agree.
A cooked lunch is a problem. Like if you just
stop cooking because you're tired? You're just tired, so you stop cooking.
I don't care. So cooked lunch is a problem.
There's too many restaurants. Order out. Figure it out.
I'm trying to save money.
Royal Tropical, the closest thing to a home cooked meal. You could go there and you can get that.
I'm trying to save money.
So you cook.
No, bruh.
That's not my part of the deal. That's your part of the deal. See, that's what I'm saying, bro.
No,
you
that'd
had
be the
extra
problem
stuff
right
in
there.
Here, Kingley. We didn't know that was part of the deal. We didn't know that was part of the deal.
Problem.
No.
You cook lunch. That's what you agreed to. Don't try to throw something on me because you don't want to do it no more. Patrice, come on, man.
Okay, so people can't change. So roles can't switch within relationships.
They can. So that's why Patrice bringing the lasagna.
You pick up the slack. That's crazy.
I didn't say that. I did pick.
That's why that's what it feels like.
She's an extension of me, work wife. She picked it up.
What you just say?
All right.
What you just
That's
say?
a wrap. Millennials versus the world. We out.
Guy said that. You wild. You wild.
Hey, my last question to it for real. My last question to it for real. Would it matter if you and that coworker have a cordial relationship?
You still not about to be cooking for
You're not cooking. Cooking is what? That's crazy. That's just as crazy as the conversation that we had previously about those omelets. About you going to your friend's house, mutual, and they up in the kitchen cooking omelets. This is the same scenario, except at work.
The house makes all the difference in the world, dog.
Nah, it's a cooked meal.
Yeah, I don't care. It better be a potluck.
No, exactly.
It's gonna be a potluck.
Nah, I don't do no potluck, but anyway, we about to get off that. We ain't going to potluck culture, nah, dog. Never mind. Hey, look, but you ain't lying. But hey, look, man, appreciate everybody tapping in tonight, man. Hope you enjoy yourself. Please take a second to subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell so you get all content coming to the page, whether it be Monday Night Crew, Last Name Loyalty, The Kickback by MVW, or Traffic Jam. May 17th, we starting our first stop. We about 2.5 weeks out, man. We about to get lit, man. So shout out to our sponsor, 3708. Tickets are on Posh right now. Make sure y'all tap in, man. We are I got the ladies of the show, Miss Princess Asia and Brittany. My bro, DJ J Dub. We are the Monday Night Crew, and I am out.